And Stephanie is with us tonight with the latest on this controversy and strange story, Steph.
Yes, certainly, Dan. This is the first known meeting the CEO of Flannery Associates has had with Bay Area congressional leaders since this all started. After years of unanswered questions, widespread speculation, and concerns over national security, tonight the firm finally revealed why they've been so secretive.
The mystery shrouding a nearly $1 billion acquisition of Solano County farmland, encroaching Travis Air Force Base, is finally starting to reveal itself.
They told me that it was critical that they develop this shroud of secrecy in order to make the purchases that they wanted to make. And once they got the land, the critical mass of the land, then they were able to be more open than they had been.
For the first time in 5 years, Jan Schrammek, a former Goldman Sachs trader and current CEO of Flannery Associates, met one-on-one with Congressman Mike Thompson to explain his vision to create a utopian city.
They tell me that they want to do it in a way that's environmentally appropriate, a way that will be energy efficient. It'll be a green development. It will not be in conflict with any of the military installation at Travis Air Force Base.
Would you say this meeting was productive? Did they come to you with specific plans on how they hope to tackle this?
No, we didn't talk a lot of specifics. As a matter of fact, I raised a couple of questions with them that they couldn't answer specifically.
Thompson says he asked Schrammek questions about the agricultural work that's done in the area.
I don't think they had a clear understanding of the significance of livestock in Solano County. And it was my impression that they kind of poo-pooed the agricultural value of the land.
Public records obtained by the I-Team show Flannery has purchased more than 55,000 acres since 2018. In many cases, nearly double or triple what it's worth.
Hearing from some of the farmers that they were being threatened. These are family lands. I'm thinking, it's like, who are you guys?
In May, Flannery filed numerous lawsuits against Solano County farmers, alleging an illegal price-fixing conspiracy. The firm is seeking $510 million in damages.
And they claim that everybody who has been sued has the financial resources to defend themselves in court.
Sources have confirmed to the I-Team Flannery is backed by the heavyweights of Silicon Valley, including billionaire venture capitalist Michael Moritz, billionaire businesswoman Laureen Powell Jobs, and LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman, among others.
And then just finding out that there are these billionaires and wanting to put a city in Solano County? No. What's the, where's the infrastructure going to come from? What about water?
I think it's pie in the sky. We know this area. I've talked to a very seasoned developer in California. I said, what do you think of it? He said, keep in mind that the land's about 1/10 of the actual cost of building the city. You're looking at a situation where maybe a quarter of the land, actually about 40% of what they purchased is a wind farm. We're talking about giant turbines. The other maybe 25–30% of it is a gas field with hundreds of gas wells, many of which are now closed off. But that's a very significant environmental issue. All in all, good luck to them.
A survey that was sent out last week that local officials believe is tied to Flannery hinted this project would be done without taxpayer money.
I don't think that's possible to do.
Based on the knowledge you have now, can you confidently state Flannery does not pose a threat to national security?
I can say that there are at least two people associated with Flannery who have a story. And as I said, as this unfolds, we'll find out if that story holds up.
Thompson also added the firm plans to open 3 district offices in Fairfield, Vallejo, and Vacaville, where they will have all their plans laid out for people to see. He also mentioned the firm told them they want to conduct town hall meetings so the community can come out and ask questions directly. So a lot of moving parts here.
Wow.
I do want to mention I've been in touch with Flannery since then tonight, and they've indicated tonight's meeting is one of many that will be scheduled over the next few weeks.
Just getting started then.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie.